Hi, my name's Kate, and welcome to the Ordinary Earth Song. It's been a while. I've not done I've attempted to do readings this week, but they haven't really worked out, and so I haven't posted any. And when I said I haven't worked out, what I mean is they became uber personal, and I became a bit of a soppy mess. So I haven't posted them. I'm keeping them because they had some messages directly for me. Yeah. Anyway, so as I said, I've not been very well this week. I was off work, wasn't really able to connect in or anything. Fantastic like that, because I don't think I was supposed to. Basically, I switched off, tuned out of everything, watched a load of really old Jean-Claude Van Damme films, which was eye-opener. It certainly reminded me of the types of things we were exposed to when we were kids. Very enjoyable, I'd say. Very, very enjoyable. But at the same time also disturbingly misogynistic and yeah, bizarre what we watched when we were kids, and it was fully acceptable. Anyway, so I want to do a reading today because not done one for ages, and I'm looking for a message from Mother Earth to anyone who may be watching this video. So a card's already pinged. Oh, 2 cards there. A couple of cards have already pinged out. Let's see if there's anything else that wants to be seen. Any other messages? Oh, blimey. Okay. Anything else? Anything else? Okay. I'm going to shuffle one more time. Well, that is a lot of cards now. That one. Okay. Let's see what this is then. Okay. 10 of Wands. Why make things so much more difficult than they need to be? Interesting. See that? She's got an arm full of candles. Why make things more difficult than they need to be? Nine of Pentacles. Pause and savour the results of your success. Seven of Swords. Are your actions really as selfless as you think? Ooh, what is this? Live in a constant state of gratitude. Feels like this is flip-flopping. Things are being made to be too complicated. Celebrate your successes. Are you really being as selfless as you think you are? Live in a constant state of gratitude. Knight of Cups. Romanticize the present moment every chance you get. Okay. What is this? If nothing seems to be going your way, cast a spell. The Lovers. Will you or won't you? The choice is yours. 1 sec, I need to figure this out. Because this feels like a strange message. What are you trying to say here? Things are being made more complicated than they need to be. Simplify. Pause and savour the results of your success. Pause, take some time out. Look back on all your successes. There could be a thing, I mean, I know when things are being made to be too complicated, it means that you're overthinking. And you're overthinking and therefore probably trying to do too much all at once, or you're not really thinking about the steps that need to be taken to get to the end goal. Because if you break something down into the individual steps, it's actually going to be much easier to deal with. If you're looking at it as the greater, bigger picture all at once, then that can be overwhelming in and of itself, because you're looking at the bigger picture and you're thinking that's not achievable. But if you were to take the steps to get there, you would see that each step is achievable in and of itself. So as you do each step, you'll eventually get to your goal. So, and this is saying, look back on the steps you've already taken to get to where you are. You're at a point where you can actually see a bigger picture. Don't destroy that momentum by getting overwhelmed by trying to achieve that larger thing all at once, all in one go, because that can be overwhelming. So I'm now decided to faff about with my camera. It's a really odd angle. So rather than looking at the whole thing and trying to do all of it all at once, take your time, take your steps, look back at what you've already achieved, see how it was achieved by taking step by step by step by step. And I know we often want to get to the goal as soon as possible, and taking individual steps can seem slow, but it would be faster to take individual steps than it would be to sit and be frozen in a state of overwhelm where you can't do anything because you're so overwhelmed by what needs to be done. So in that case, the best bit of advice I've ever had in my entire life, when I was overwhelmed, I was living on my own, just been diagnosed with MS, I was really struggling with life in general, keeping the place tidy, doing anything was just an absolute, I was exhausted all the time. The best bit of advice I was ever given was, as you go from room to room, take one thing with you that needs to go, move one thing, do one thing, and as you do that around the house will become tidier. It works, it really does work. So break it down and look back at the things you have achieved and congratulate yourself, because it's great, and have gratitude for the fact that you've been able to get to that point. Now this, are your actions really as selfless as you think? 7 of Swords. I mean, this doesn't seem like a selfless action. She wants to squash this spider. That's a fear response. That's a fear response to something that looks and feels and you know, can be terrifying to some people. The immediate response is kill it, get rid of it. I can't have that in my space. Because spiders, they move funny. But is it really doing any harm? How does this tie in? How does this tie in with the rest of this top message here? Pause and say the results of your success. live in constant state of gratitude, which, by the way, isn't easy. How can you can't feel grateful all the time for everything. You are encouraged to. That's the message, isn't it? You are encouraged to be grateful for every experience that you have, even the crappy ones. Which is really difficult to do at a time of going through that crappy experience. It's okay looking back in hindsight when you've got through it and come out the other end, and maybe you've actually achieved something, or you've come to a different perspective, or you've grown, or whatever. You can look back and be grateful. This is suggesting you be grateful in every single moment, including the ones that you find challenging, and that is difficult because, for one, it's hard to say you're going to be able to do that. How are you going to make your brain be like, every single moment, every single thing you're going through at all times, being like, oh, this is really grateful for this experience right now, and mean it. I think that's quite hard, but I can see the benefit. I can see the reason why you would potentially want to try and do that. But there is something to be said for also acknowledging the fact that some experiences are crappy. And at the time of going through them, gratitude is probably one of the last things you're going to be thinking about. I mean, you might get there. You might be one of those people that can really be like, yeah, thank you for this lesson. And I have had moments like that where I've been going through something and I've realised it's a lesson, it's an opportunity, it's a challenge to help me think and see things differently, or be different, or to make a different choice, or whatever. And I have been grateful at that point to have that experience, and it changed that experience into something else. It changed that experience from something that was super challenging and difficult to something that was still challenging and difficult, but with a purpose, and therefore it felt more manageable. It felt more like it was for a reason. So it kind of changed the narrative around how I dealt with it, how I felt about it, and how I moved on from it. Whereas in the past, I think other experiences I would have had a very different sort of attitude. It would have been a victim mentality. I may have been humiliated by it, or shamed by it, or angered by it, or made fearful by it, or whatever. It's these are the responses, and then that's what you walk away from. I do hope you can't hear that. Someone is hammering, but they are. This one, are your reactions really as selfless as you think? Is the goal you're aiming for really the one that's going to be the best one for your path? Feels like that's what it's saying. So you've got this goal that you're trying to achieve, and you're trying to do it all at once, but it's better to take it in steps and look back and savour all the successes you've had so far. And this one, it feels like it's asking you to think about whether this is, in fact, the best choice. Not just for you, it might be the best choice for you, but is it a choice that would I don't want to say benefit others, but be for the greater good? You know what I mean? It's be for the greater good. This one's clarifying that. Broom. Tidy up your life so you can make space for something better. So this is suggesting to me that before making a decision on where it is you want to go, that you want to try and get there as quickly as possible, you're trying to achieve something now as quickly as possible. It may not be for the greater good. And this is saying clean up your act before making that decision. You might have a tendency to romanticize the present moment. Seeing the world through rose-tinted glasses can make it feel like that decision is the best one to make. It can make it feel like that's your option, that is the best choice, but it may not be the most selfless choice that is for the greater good. So this card, romanticising the present moment every chance you get. I mean, seeing the world through rose tinted glasses, it's fantastical, you know what I mean? I don't know, is the world as good as what it seems when it's seen through rose tinted glasses? Are the decisions you want to make, the choices that are before you, are some more appealing because they look good through rose tinted glasses? Good luck charm. If nothing seems to be going your way, cast a spell. I think that's encouragement. I think that's encouragement to really think about what the rose tinted glasses are that you're looking through. What's that lens? What's the distortion it's putting on what you're seeing and feeling and thinking and wanting? What is the... I think there's only a slight distortion. There might be a slight distortion that's giving you the sense that you have something that you need to achieve. You need to achieve it now and as quickly and as fast as possible. Otherwise, your life is not complete. If your life is not complete unless you achieve this thing, then you're going to rush into it and you're going to try and do it all at once, with a sense that it's the right decision for you, but it might not be the right decision for you. It may not be the best decision in the whole grand picture of things. It may be a decision that you're making through rose tinted glasses, which are tinting that decision with some form of distortion, meaning you're not seeing it in its entirety. You're not seeing it through true objective filters. Remove the filters. Cast a spell, remove the filters. Cast a spell means, for me, ask your guides, ask for guidance, meditate, tap in, if you've got oracle cards, do your own oracle card reading. Get a sense of what it is they're trying to tell you. And if I was going to give the best advice about using oracle cards, especially for getting personal messages, this is what I do, is I look for the most challenging message within the cards. What's the most difficult thing they're trying to say here? And if that thing resonates in any way, shape or form, and it makes you think, oh, if it makes you skip over it, if it makes you want to avoid it, if it's something that's like challenging to you ever so slightly, that's something to look at. That is something for you to explore, work out why it is that you want to skip over it, why it is you can't quite face that, because that's the thing, that's the filter that you're looking through, that's the thing that's preventing you from seeing the bigger picture. And your guides are pointing that out to you by giving you that message. The Lovers, will you, won't you? The choice is yours. Could this be to do with a relationship? It's the 15th. No, it's not. It's the 16th of February. A couple of days after, what's it called? Valentine's Day. And this could be to do with a relationship. It could be to do with anything, to be honest with you. Not necessarily a relationship. And this could be about absolutely anything. Will you, won't you? It's a choice. It's a decision. It says it's the Lovers, but it's still a decision. It's a decision about something that's going on in your life. It's a decision that feels like you need to do it right now, as quickly as possible, all at once. Otherwise, you're failing. And you're looking at that through rose-tinted glasses. This is what this is telling me. Is there anything else? From anything else I can go to give a bigger picture? Okay. Wisdom of the Oracle. Let's see what comes out here. Is there any clarification you could provide for this message? Regeneration. suggests to me there's a need to, I don't know why, but it feels like start again on something. It feels like regrowth, starting from scratch, allowing something to develop at its own pace. From a difficult place. So let something go and then let it grow again in a new form. Maybe that's what you need to do. Rather than rushing ahead into this need to do something as quickly as possible, and not in the best way possible potentially, and not in the most selfless way possible. And rather than seeing all of those decisions through rose-tinted glasses, you need to make a decision. Cast a spell to get some clarity, as in tap into your guides. And this is saying ultimately allowing it to die down, because then it will grow back up again into something new, and probably something stronger. One flew. Chop wood. That looks like a broom. What's the chopping wood? Hang on, I need to see this card. Don't know why. Can you see that? That is giving me Chewbacca. It's weird. I don't even know what this is. But that looks like Chewbacca to me. From Star Wars. Chop wood. Regeneration. Chop it down. Chop the wood. Chop the wood and allow it to regrow. Cut it down. Cut it off. What's Chewbacca got to do with that then? He was friends, a loyal partner. It's a Han Solo. Is there any way you can clarify chop wood? You want me to go to the book? Can you clarify it with a card first? No, you want me to go to the book. Okay. Gosh, I realise I'm really crap at reading out loud as well, so I used to hate doing that in school. Everyone would do a part in a book and I would just sit there in anticipation, hating every minute of it. Being grounded in every experience, humility. Interesting. So actually that suggests that the rose-tinted glasses are giving you a woo-woo kind of perspective on things at a sort of a high level, which is lovely. Experience with where it is you want to go and what it is you want to do, but this is encouraging you to be grounded in your decision, to find a way to listen to your guides. The Oracle message: there are times when the big dream is meant to lie dormant in your consciousness so that you can pay attention to the simple chores in your life. That sounds really boring. Sometimes you want your dreams to fly. Well, you don't want them to be dormant. I mean, I don't know about you, but I've had dreams that have been dormant for a really long time. Consider why pruning a tree is the forerunner of delighting in the beautiful blooms when it is in full bloom. The mundane act of pulling off dead leaves, watering the soil and then leaving it be to let nature take its course is an important step in manifestation. Okay, that makes sense. Take your attention away from your goal. This brings you into a state of receptivity. This is the deeper purpose for releasing attachment. When you engage in everyday tasks in a meditative, contemplative way, you clear your energy to receive your aha moments, which brings you ever closer to what you seek. So this card, inexplicably, is about pruning trees and allowing them to then grow thicker, fuller, more abundantly. For one, I'm a bit nonplussed by the fact that I didn't get that from this card. Am I missing something? I think I am. But it ties in with the rest of this message. And what I was talking about cleaning your space, doing one thing at a time. Allowing yourself to go through each step of the chores without even really thinking about you're taking a step. You're just doing one thing. And by the time you're finished, you've done it all. But staying grounded. Make a decision in a grounded sense. Remove the rose-tinted glasses if you can. See what it is that is preventing you from clearly seeing the picture, the full picture of what your decision is, and make a decision in the fullness of its reality. Let's just see what regeneration's saying here, because that might be something completely different as well. This book's pretty good because it gives an oracle message, a relationship message, prosperity and protection message. And I still think this is an oracle message. So rebirth, second chances, new opportunities. Okay, that's what we said. Second chances are available to you now. Whatever opportunities you thought were dead are now revived in a more authentic, stronger form. Whatever you may have perceived as a failure or loss is now being replaced by something better and more powerful, growing in its place. This rebirth is assured. Step into your new life. This destiny is being fulfilled in wondrous ways. Yeah, I think the message is pretty clear. You feel like you've got something big you need to achieve. You're finding it difficult to get there because you're trying to do it all at once. Take steps to achieve. Look back, see how you've done things in the past and see that things are only done one thing at a time, and look at all your successes. The decision you're trying to make, however, is one that is probably not for your best or higher good, and it's not a selfish decision. It's a decision you're making through rose-tinted glasses. Ask for guidance, seek your own inner guidance. And you have a choice. Your choice is A, B, C, D, or whatever the choices are. At the end of the day, the best course of action seems to be take one step at a time, clearly rose-tinted glasses, let something stop for a bit, prune it down, prune it right down, and then once you've pruned it down, let it grow back up again. But only let grow those things that are for the greater, higher, selfless good. And then you'll be able to see the bigger picture. And whatever decision you're making, trying to make now, if it's meant to be, it will be in its own time. You have to let it happen. And it's probably at its own pace. And in a way that is for the higher good, the greater good. I think that's everything. I'm going to do a quick let's do a quick thing here just to see. Hi. Is this Mother Earth? Okay, is this Hecate? Oh. Samiel? Thank you. Are you good? Awesome. I got this new pendulum the other day. It's a moonstone. I love it because it looks like the moon. Can I ask, and I know the answer to this, but is this your pendulum? Great. It's really lovely to see you. My hand's tingling. So we worked out the other day, didn't we, that, well, I worked out the other day, well, you told me that, part of what you do is help people work with their shadow and develop a means to see the darker side of themselves so that they can work with it and infuse it with light. Yeah. And become more accepting of who they are rather than living in shame or humiliation. They can live in a sense of wholeness and completion and acceptance. So is that what part of this message is about? Because of the rose tinted glasses and the fact that decision wants to be made without a selfless aim, really. It's because it's through rose tinted glasses. It's probably a bit self-focused, let's say. Is being self-focused a bad thing? Is being selfless a good thing? Is that because being selfless can be harmful? But it could also be good. So is the advice here that if we make decisions with a filter over why we're making those decisions, and whatever that filter may be, it's going to affect the reasoning and purpose behind why we're making that decision, how we make that decision, and then it will put a fake sense of, or a sense of pressure to achieve that as soon as possible, and probably not in the best way possible. A bit like a sense of FOMO. If we experience fear of missing out, then we want to get to something as quickly as possible, and we'll do whatever it takes to get there. And if we can't achieve that, then we will potentially become angry or humiliated or have a sense of worthlessness. It doesn't help our mental health, right? So part of what you do, and I wanted to say we do, is this going to what I said about the oracle cards? If you have oracle cards, you're trying to do your own personal reading, and there are things coming out in the oracle cards or even tarot cards that you don't want to face, that you want to skip over because it's not for you, or it doesn't, it's difficult. Those are things to maybe look at and investigate. will that help work with the shadow? I mean, there's loads of people out there that help working with the shadow, and if anyone needs to help, get help of a more distinctive nature on how to work with the shadow, then I would seek one of those out in your local area. But also ask your guides, ask your guidance, seek guidance, and find what resonates. What are the things you're trying to avoid? What are the things you really, 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 really want to happen because you desperately want it to be true or be real or whatever? And look at why. Prune it back. Prune it all back. And allow it to grow again. So when I say prune it back, I mean go back to one thing that's very simple. Take everything out of the picture. Ask for guidance, and then allow the branches to grow back. And the ones that resonate with you, you're allowed to keep growing. The ones that feel like a desperate desire, need, I'm not using the right words. Can you give them to me, please? There are many emotions that you experience as human beings. Some feel right, some feel pure, some feel tainted, some feel abundantly exciting and thrilling. It is easy to get sucked into the fantastical. It is easy to get sucked down into the normal and the mundane. There is a balance between the two. It is possible to locate a place in your heart that tells you when something is right for you and when something is not quite right for you. It is possible to find that you are your own guide. And in actual fact, your shadow can be your guide as much as anything else, because it is the sense of avoidance. It is the feeling of running away, the feeling of fear, the feeling of impending doom or humiliation or shame. These things, as negative as they may feel, are indicators of the things that hold a greater truth hold a greater experience that the shadow is trying to avoid. So when it comes to removing rose tinted glasses, it may entail allowing yourself to see some parts of your shadow. Rose tinted glasses can serve to hide the shadow, to put it away into a place that cannot be witnessed. And it can also serve to highlight other things that seem shiny and beautiful and new. This does not always make them the best option just because they are shiny and beautiful and new. They can be a foolhardy endeavour that can take you out of true knowing and wholeness and into an experience that will make you cycle around again through your experiential karma. The choice is yours. You have a choice. Free will is yours. If you choose to see through rose-tinted glasses, or if you are looking through them without knowing, you are acting in ignorance, and you will endeavour then to repeat until you learn from the experience. By removing the rose-tinted glasses, you allow yourself to see the full spectrum that is before you, which includes the shadow. This will break the cycle. If you want to break the cycle, if you want to be able to act in a way that is less stressful, more aligned, within the flow, then you should not avoid the shadow. You should learn to take its hand, accept it, make it your friend and guide, and allow it to work with you. It never meant to work against you. It was always there to protect. But like a mother hen, it didn't know how to stop protecting. And protection became its own form of torture. Working with it will allow it to share. Rather than force. Itself onto you. It is the force that has made it so difficult to be with the shadow in the past. It needed to make you listen. It superimposed itself. But by working with it, you allow it to speak. You allow yourself to hear and listen. And in turn, you can work in acceptance and agreement and in love and without fear. You are abundantly loved because of who you are. As a whole being, there is nothing but you. As a human, as a whole being having a human experience in a body that has forgotten its whole self. There are many things that are trying to give you help. The shadow is one of those things. As a whole being, you are loved. As a human, you are loved. Can we? Okay, I need to stop. My head. Thank you, Samiel. Was there anything else you needed to say right now? Okay. Oh, my gosh. I don't know why. I wasn't even holding it with my left hand. Maybe it's because of... Oh, owie. Okay, I need to watch that back. I'm not 100% sure of everything that I said there, but the overall message is about working with the shadow to figure this out. To figure out what these rose tinted glasses are. So you can take them off. See the fuller picture so you can print it right back and let it grow again in fuller abundance. Okay, that's it from me. Oh my goodness, how long was I? Was that? Good grief. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Sorry this was another long one. It was 20 minutes last time I looked at them. At the time it's now 50, so I do apologise. Thank you for watching and I will see you soon. Bye.